Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda Civic, and it's the 1.6 SR diesel. You can see here it's a 2015 car. It's got the new style front end and revised styling. This particular vehicle's done 53,000 miles and is in absolutely lovely condition. Finished in this sporty blue metallic. Let's come around the front of the car for you. You can tell there's a new style headlamps on there, new style fog lights, and front bumper treatment looks really good. And come around the front of the car, it's very clean. There's hardly a stone chip of any notes on there at all. There's a couple of dead flies that decided to deposit themselves on the car. Come down the near side of the car first. It's very smooth in the panel work. It's got the black alloys, which you normally find on the sport model. Looks really good on the car as well. Then down the flank of the car, panel work again very clean. You will find the odd tiny light mark that the camera won't pick up on. I do try and pick up on everything I possibly can, but generally it's very nice. Come around the back of the car now. Again, as you can see on these 2015 ones, you've got the black diffuser at the bottom and the smoked glass, the new style lights on the back. It looks absolutely brilliant, it really does. It's a lovely job they did with it. You get front and rear parking sensors on these models, as well as the rear parking camera, so no excuses at all for biffing the car. And then down the offside, again, very clean in the panels. Colour is particularly sought after in the used market. The Civic just looks particularly good with them, especially with the contrast of the black alloys and the black smoke on the rear spoiler there, the rear window rather. But the exterior of the car is in very nice condition. Coming to the back of the car now, absolutely huge boots on these Civics, beautifully finished inside, and this one's in really lovely condition and been given very light use. If you don't already know, I'm sure you probably do, up in the Civics you get this kind of hidden little recess there. Give that pull back, drop it down, get another 7 or 8 inches of boot depth as well. Coming to the back of the car now, rear door card, all the doors in very nice condition. Full set of original Honda mats fitted to this vehicle. You can see here, this shows the rear seats in their upright position. This forms part of what they call a magic seat affair. It's just such a brilliant and clever design. If you want to drop it back down, you can do it individually as well. Pull the lever up, put it down, it just clicks into place. It's just beautifully engineered. Seats down in their normal position now, and the leatherwork looks pretty much as new. As I said, I don't think these rear seats have been given hardly any use at all. Front near side door card, again very clean and tidy. Footwell area is all very nice as well. And the front passenger seats here, again, as with the rears, just looks as though it's hardly ever been used. It's in wonderful condition. Come to the front on the driver's side now, again door card very clean and tidy. Footwell area again, really nice. Driver's seat again is in beautiful condition. So I just dropped a pen down there, so I'm just going to pick it up. But the bolsters, everything really good. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section of the video, so you can see the dashboard illuminated. Dashboard, to all intents and purposes, looks pretty much as new. It's in wonderful condition. You can see there's sat nav working absolutely perfectly. I'll pop the car into reverse. Got that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working absolutely perfectly. Heated seats, dual zone climate control, all the recesses have been kept absolutely fantastically well in this car. If I come up to the top of the dashboard here, hopefully you can see. I'll try and pen in there for you. 53,236 miles currently recorded on the car. There's absolutely no warning lights on this dashboard at all. This is roughly where you should actually set your driving position, so the steering wheel binnacle is in between the rev counter and the speedo above, and it's a wonderful view of what I think is the best dashboard in its class by a country mile. but it's all been kept absolutely beautifully in here. Just to show you, we do have the original owner's manual pack here with the car, plus very importantly the lock and wheel nut key is here and present. So finally, just to come under the engine bay, and it's a beautifully presented engine bay by Honda. We've literally just serviced the car this morning, and it'll be going off for an independent MOT later today or tomorrow. Engine's fantastic, more of which in the following road test video. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic, and it's the 1.6 SR diesel. This particular car is registered, if I can read it, AW15LFT, and mileage at the start of the road test is 53,230 miles. Reason for doing the road test, very simply indeed, is just so customers actually get to see our cars in operation. That way, if there's any obvious issues on the car, we can relay them back to you immediately. We're very well aware that lots of our customers now come from not only the whole of sort of mainland UK, but also Europe as well. So if people are willing to sort of invest the time and effort and energy to come and see us, then the least we can do is show you the car in operation. As you probably know from the advert, the car's been very, very well maintained, and it is immediately obvious. It just feels incredibly tight and taut. Engine starts absolutely immediately, of course, settles to completely smooth, even idle. There's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the car or the engine or any other part of the car. Lovely engines, really, really fabulous units. They've got a really lovely spread of power. Engine revs very keenly, very quietly. It's a incredibly efficient engine, not only in terms of the fact that obviously it costs nothing to tax. There's 0 road tax rated because the emissions are so good, but also the fuel efficiency is astonishing. I mean, it really is, and it delivers in the real world, unlike certain manufacturers we could all mention, but it really does. They've also got a reputation for reliability which is completely unmatched in its class. I don't want to tempt fate, but we've never put a spanner on one of these engines, and we've had them with varying mileages from very low to quite high. But they really do have a wonderful, wonderful reputation for reliability. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, very smooth, silence in operation, bite point is exactly where it should be on the car. There's no change in engine note whether the clutch is in or out, all in absolutely perfect order there. Clutch then feeds through into this Honda 6-speed manual gearbox, which I always eulogise about. It's a brilliant gearbox. Like most modern cars which are front wheel drive, there's no direct connection between the gear lever and the gearbox anymore. It's usually a cable that runs through. Unfortunately, on some manufacturers that means you end up with a pretty lifeless gear change. They're light, they're accurate possibly, but they've just got no feel to them at all. This has a kind of a mechanical feel, a very definite gate, shortened throw, wonderful synchromesh on it, absolutely brilliant. It's a lesson to other manufacturers in just how to do it, and they've got a reputation for unbelievable reliability. They're brilliant. I can't find anywhere in the powertrain of this vehicle at all. It all is absolutely spot on. Steering of the car on these vehicles really good. This one tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at all at this or any speed up to the legal limit speeds at which obviously I'm allowed to road test the cars. We always ask the delivery drivers on the motorways to check at motorway speeds, and nothing reported back at all. Absolutely spot on, and it's a pet hate of mine in all honesty as well. But the steering setup's fantastic. It's quick, it's got a nice weight to it, it's very, very accurate indeed, and it's perfectly dialed in and tuned to the chassis of the car. It's just a wonderful setup. It's very dynamic, the car. It's very comfortable, of course, but it's got a really, really kind of lovely feel to it, where there's an immediacy of response in pretty much everything you do on the vehicle. It's a classy setup. I can't feel again anywhere at all through the steering of the car, all in absolutely perfect order there. Chassis of the vehicle is just, you know, chassis on cars are always about compromise. You know, they've got to remember that the first thing this car needs to be doing is ferrying probably families around comfortably. So you either go for a kind of a very soft setup, but that can be quite wallowy through the corners, not very comfortable, or in reality, in the real world, because you go through the corners, you get that kind of lurching effect. This just has the compromise spot on. You've got a very quick, responsive chassis that's beautifully controlled through the corners, damped fantastically well, but it's really good fun to drive. But it's also incredibly comfortable, and basically answers all the questions asked of the previous generation, which was a very spirited car but had a sort of slightly harsher edge to it. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. No noises coming from up through the chassis at all, other than what should be there. So no sort of clonks or bangs, nothing at all. Brakes on the car, really solid brake pedal. Again, what I'm looking for is just any sort of pulsing, any vibrations, but everything's exactly as it should be on the brake pedal there. Looking around inside the car, we haven't cleaned it yet, and it's in absolutely beautiful condition in here. It's just arrived to us. What the videos can't kind of impart to you is just how brilliantly built these things are. Not a hint of a squeak or a rattle. It feels rock solid, as you'd expect from what is a premium quality car in this particular sector of the market. And this is real world build quality, not when the motoring press get them and they're brand new. This is years down the line, and Honda do these things superbly. It's also, I know interiors can be slightly contentious, and slightly polarizing, and this is perfect in that respect, because some people love them and some people hate them. I obviously love them because I think the dashboard is truly interesting, but also beautifully easy, very easy to use. You've got a lovely big screen sat nav all working perfectly, dual zone climate control system, again blowing out absolutely ice cold air. But all the switchgear has a wonderfully high quality feel to it. Again, even the minor switches, it's a bit like operating a very high quality camera. It's got that sort of click action, which will still be feeling like that in 200,000 miles time. That's how well they do these things. But then this wonderful information display in front of me. You've got genius. You've got the high up display for all the major information. Most importantly, of course, your speedo, which is directly in front of my line of sight, so I can see it at the corner of my eye as I'm driving along now. Don't have to take my eyes off the road for a split second to take that information in. And down below that, a more conventional pod of dials, temperature gauge running at a third. Now it's up to a full operating temperature, and that's exactly where it should be on a Honda car. But just a wonderful place to sit. And these have proved really popular cars with people who may suddenly need practicality after having years of quite a sporty car. It's shown, and we take loads of cabriolets and Celicas and that kind of car where something's got a kind of a sportier edge to it, but they need practicality, but they still want to have a bit of fun in the car, and this is a really brilliant car for that. As I said at the start of the video, the point of these videos is actually to be quite critical. I can't find anything in the drive of this vehicle that merits a mention. It drives absolutely beautifully, regardless of age or mileage. It feels as though I'm driving a brand new car. Having said that, if I've missed something on the video, please don't hesitate, do call us, and we'll happily answer any questions you might have about this car.